Święta Krew is the second full-length album from Sacrofuck. This is a Polish death metal band, and one that is they formed a while ago, and they were more of a some of these folks had been in grindcore bands, and they were definitely starting there when they were putting out their early demos as far back as 2008 or 2013 or whatnot, and they didn't really form into the shell of what they are now and sort of get an idea of what this band wanted to be until 2018. So it took about 12 years before it felt like this was maybe a more serious band, and the lineup got redone. And what we get now is the evolution of that sound from that point, which was a grindcore influenced and maybe even hardcore influenced death metal sound. And that isn't necessarily what you would expect. This is kind of a death grind record, an old school death metal record, but also just a heavy kind of thing. And they very naturally built upon their sound beyond 2017 with their most recent demo. They've put out a couple of demos more recently, but their debut full length. So it will help to go back and listen to some of their past work to sort of get an idea of how they arrived upon where they are at now, which is a much more refined place. And I believe that's because they've added one of the guitarists from Devil Priest to the lineup. So we'll cut into a clip here and get a sense for what this record sounds like. So I guess if I'm pulling up references to the United States band Atrocity as well as Terrorizer, you're getting a sense that this is maybe more of a grindcore influenced record than you'd expect, and it certainly is. They kind of finally leaned into it, even though their past records were sort of dancing around it beyond their 2018 demo, and I felt like this record really leaned into that without becoming kind of an old school grindcore parody, I guess. And the great thing about this record, I guess, is just that it has riffs. Not all of them are very memorable. Not all of them are going to blow your mind. But feeling this sort of old school death grind feeling is rare enough in decent quality, and these guys pull it off pretty well. Especially those first four songs on the album. That's sort of the success of this record, is that the first four songs really pull you in with that death grind kind of combination. They hit a really high mark around that fourth song, and then they lean back into death metal at that point. And so it's just a half an hour record, more or less. I think there are 10 songs, and they kind of clip through all of them in under 3 minutes or so, or maybe a little over on some of them. Now, there are throwaway songs on this record. There are riffs that are just plain. Some of it feels like just, filling part of the record, but not too many. Most of it is pretty solid. And there's sort of a command to this attack. They've got a great drummer, and it really helps this record, the propulsion behind it. And now that the switches happened in the guitars, I feel like everything is a little bit tighter. It's a little bit more thoughtful, but also just pretty damned aggressive at the end of the day. And I just got a kick out of it. I thought it was a great record to just pick up and put on, and they just kind of ripped through it. And I like that. That's my kind of thing. So if it is yours, check out the record on the 16th when it releases. On the 26th, more likely, but high recommendation, a moderately high recommendation. I think this is a very specific and a very simple kind of record for people who want more of that, and it's not necessarily going to introduce you to anything new, or if you don't want variations on things maybe you've heard before, this isn't the most original record you'll hear all year, but it's a great one, and I had a great time with it, so I wanted to mention it and talk about it. Go ahead and read my review on the site for more of my thoughts, and check out some songs that are there to preview.